Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about Alpha 3.18 and some of its big features, physicalized cargo, soft death, and salvage. Talk about roughly how they work, my experiences of them playing in the PTU, and how they're going to be changing, or at least some of the changes that are going to be made based on feedback that is currently being received, which is the current point of the current PTU and the open PTU that we're going to be having. Also, it's probably worth mentioning that because we're going to have an open PTU for quite a long time, going into January 2023, there's likely going to be a load more sort of tweaks and bugs that are going to be caught than we would have otherwise had before going into the live build. And players' feedback is going to really influence this, so please make your sort of thoughts known either in this video, in the comments, but more readily on the RSI forums on Spectrum. So let's talk about physicalized cargo first. 3.18 introduces physicalized cargo and updated kiosk functionality for buying and selling. Physicalized cargo can be tractor-beamed, dropped when a ship is destroyed, and offloaded from one ship to the next. So, basically, this makes commodity cargo interactable rather than a big, unmoving blob in your cargo hold, and if ships explode, they may drop some of their 1 SCU containers. Working with the soft death system as well that we'll come to in a minute, this also sort of incentivizes boarding actions to actually take another ship's cargo. It legitimizes piracy gameplay, it motivates players to fight and play differently. It's actually working pretty well from what I've seen. However, in like safe and green zones, tractor beams don't work currently, so being able to move your cargo around there is a little bit annoying that you can't do it properly, because basically those tractor beams count as weapons, it looks like at the moment. The new kiosks, so the new UIs for them, they are a little bit fiddly, but overall, it's going in a nice direction. There's probably a load of little bits of feedback that other players could give to sort of evolve that. Beyond that, really, I just want a bit of an economy balance. So let's talk about the ship soft death stuff. So soft death is active in 3.18. I call this personally soft destruction because it makes more sense. You are sort of not blowing up a ship, you've permanently disabled it. So vehicles can now, and ships can enter a soft death state before a regular death state. The soft death trigger favours precise damage over blasting major damage. So if you were to finish a ship off with a sort of missile or torpedo, then it's likely the ship was just going to explode. No soft destruction there. In the soft destruction state, the vehicle is left intact and the crew and pilot are left alive, assuming they are players. Player crew, they survive. NPC and AI crew, they do not survive. They're currently in soft destruction. It will kill any NPCs and AI. Seats can be exited but can't be re-entered when a ship is soft destructed. Cargo is left fully intact, and the doors of the ship will unlock as well, so you can't sort of hide behind a locked door. Additional damage to the vehicle or ship will cause a critical death that will kill the crew, blow up the ship, and destroy some of the cargo. Mission completions related to kills will trigger on the sort of soft destruction of a ship. So you don't have to worry that you haven't blown it up. It's just enough that you've just sort of disabled it permanently. So from trying this out a bit, soft destruction doesn't trigger as often as I'd like, even when I think I'm being relatively precise with my damage. So ships still often explode, which is a shame, but very easily solvable if Cloud Imperium want to make it happen more often, that a ship doesn't explode but is some sort of permanently disabled. Yeah, alternatively, I might have just been unlucky, or lots of other reasons, I suppose. There is a debate going on at the moment as well whether gravity should be staying on or off when a ship is in a soft destruction state, because some players are like, look, EVA is in a bad state and it's not great if you want proper boarding actions or everyone floating around and yeah, running around on the ground and actually having sort of being able to hide behind corners and have a proper standard FPS experience with shipboarding. That's probably more viable and fun for at least some players. My opinion is that it should actually be a bit random whether gravity goes on or off or whatever after a ship is in the soft destruction sort of state, because until we have physical damage, physical components, and with the resource management system and gravity generators, we're sort of like having some temporary systems. So this sort of stuff that they're building at the moment is temporary until we get those other features in. In the future, it's all going to be based on, well, was the gravity generator damaged or destroyed? Is it getting power? Is all the power of the ship out? And then that will affect whether or not the gravity is on or off. But what do you think? What's your sort of opinion on that? Because that's just what I think at the moment. And I have quite fleeting opinions that change based on the wind. I haven't been able to do any proper boarding of ships yet either, so bear that in mind. It's one of the things I'm most excited about, even though I'm not a huge PvPer. Once 3.18 is a little more stabler, Zin and I will jump in and bam, do some ship boarding, maybe just some sort of ship rescues and medical gameplay, because I think that medical gameplay is going to be so much more viable, as is search and rescue, sort of coming to help sort of distress beacons or service beacons that are like, please help me, I've been attacked. And something I'm actually really looking forward to is someone trying to salvage my ship while I am still in it after it's been sort of to soft destruction. So I'm like, no, I don't want to go. So let's talk about salvage. Hull scraping is available in 3.18 for the Drake Vulture and the Aegis Reclaimer. The Reclaimer has 2 little turrets that can sort of do hull stripping. Wrecks of destroyed ships no longer despawn and can themselves be salvaged. In addition, random wrecks can be scanned for and located in all major asteroid concentrations, including around Yela and around Lagrange points. The RMC generated can be sold as a commodity or used for repair via conversion into canisters loadable into a multi-tool. Additionally, the multi-tool itself can be used to strip hulls as well as repair them, though I wasn't able to buy the salvage attachments in lots of the shops, like in Shuben. Like, they just didn't have them for sale, so hopefully Cloud Imperium will make them more available around the verse to actually purchase. Cloud Imperium are trying to get salvage in a place where it is a good moneymaker, and they want the Reclaimer to be able to make a lot more money when fully crewed compared to the Vulture. Obviously, there's lots of other salvage coming online later that the Reclaimer is going to excel at scale. Salvage sites aren't too hard to find, and basically it feels like a more chill version of mining, which, if you're looking for that gameplay, it's actually pretty fun and pretty nice. The salvage beams on the Vulture are a little slow, and salvage wasn't yielding huge returns for me when I was messing around with it. That said, I wasn't being that efficient. The sort of gameplay loop on the Vulture is you find your sort of thing that you're salvaging, go up to it, beam it a bit, power wash it, that's what it looks like, and then you'll get a box being dispensed in the cargo hold that you then need to move before you can salvage any more. And the first time I took my Vulture out, I didn't have a tractor beam with me, so I couldn't move its box, so I couldn't then actually continue to salvage. So make sure you bring a tractor beam with you is the sort of moral of that story. I think salvaging a battle site like Xenothreat's Fleet Battle with a Reclaimer would be incredibly good fun. Just salvaging in general, but like a Reclaimer will shine in those areas where there's loads of ships to salvage. Like, are they going to have the wrecks of the Idris and the Javelin stay behind? Like, if they do, amazing. I don't, maybe they stay around now. I haven't actually tried, but there's a thing as well going on at the moment, like until they solve the sort of amount of money that the ships can make, and the Reclaimer being able to make a good amount more money than the Vulture means that, well, at the moment, if there's like 2 or 3 of people that I'm playing with, I might go, well, let's not run a Reclaimer, let's all run Vultures independently. Yeah, it depends on how you want to organize yourself. It depends what you're planning to do. It depends on how efficient you can be. Obviously, you do need to have someone moving sort of crates with the tractor beam as well on the Reclaimer. So like four people for a Reclaimer works pretty well. But things are going to change with the feedback and tweaks that Cloud Imperium are making. So based on feedback already in the PTU, there's some changes coming. Cloud Imperium said, we increased the thickness of the hull a little to increase the yield. We increased the efficiency of all scrapper beams for the Reclaimer. All scrapper variances will run more efficiently on the Reclaimer compared to the Vulture. We also increased gathering speeds for all scraper beams to maintain the timings with the updated thickness of the hull material. So that means people are going to be able to get more sort of hull scraping RMC material more quickly, more easily. Cloud Imperium continued, the Vulture should still be as profitable as it was before, maybe a little more, but the Reclaimer should be way more profitable. So that might incentivize me to actually get a group together and actually run a Reclaimer now, if it can make a bit more money. Because realistically, I want it to be a lot more profitable than 3 times, maybe even more profitable than 4 times that of what the Vulture can make in the same time, because, well, I'm effectively going to be running it with 3 or 4 people, right? And then it needs to scale up a bit from that and go, well, you're rewarded for using a bigger ship and being coordinated. But boom, that's what I have for you today, talking about Alpha 3.18. There's a load more topics and features to talk about, and we'll be bringing you lots more gameplay in the near future. We are just sort of waiting for 3.18 to be a bit more stable. Also, due to Christmas, I'm sort of going to have some erratic videos based on when I have time to record them, because family's going to be here and I'm going to be cooking. But I'm really interested to know what your thoughts on the salvage mechanics are. Are you enjoying them? What do you think of their yields and returns? What are you looking forward to with them? The soft death or soft destruction system and physicalized cargo. How do you think that all sort of works at the moment? Are you enjoying it? Do you think it's working really well? What feedback would you give to Cloud Imperium, or what are your experiences with those mechanics and what you've seen so far? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have eyes? I know I do. Do you want precise eye and head tracking that's natively supported in Star Citizen for that deep immersion? And it just so happens that Tobii Eye Tracker 5 has a 20% off sale until the 2nd of January 2023. So go to tobii.gg/BoredGamer or follow the links down below to get your discount.
Ho ho ho! Merry Nordmas!
It's Santa!
No, Timmy, it's Father Nordmas. I'm legally distinct and spread NordVPN cheer. Here you go, little Tim. Have some discount on your next NordVPN purchase. Just what you wanted. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
But Santa, we don't want a VPN.
I told you, Tim, it's Father Nordmas.
Every month we have a ship giveaway. For December, we are giving away the mighty Drake Corsair Explorer with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. This no-nonsense Explorer can take you and 3 friends to the limits of adventure around the verse, and although more focused on exploration and expedition, it is a great multi-role mission runner too. Comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the videos, leave comments, and if you feel so inclined, use the join button under my videos and give a little bit each month to help the channel. It really, really does help. Or you can even become a Patreon or donate. Check out all the links below. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great time in the verse.